for the lady who was looking to buy in Brisbane and living in Sydney. I did that twice. When I was in Sydney, I purchased 2 properties in Brisbane, and on both of those occasions I used a buyer's agent, and what they do is you pay them a fee and they will go and search out the property for you, because I believe in looking at a lot of property to make sure you get the right one. And so you either can do that yourself, which is really hard if you're living in Sydney and trying to get up to Brisbane, or pay someone who you trust to do it.
Or I guess trust is the million-dollar question.
Exactly.
Do they get their commission from the agent? They get their commission from the purchase of the property?
Really good question. A lot of people call themselves buyer's agents, but in fact they are selling properties of developers. What I'm talking about when I say buyer's agent is someone who you pay usually 2% to, or approximately 2%, or a flat fee for, and they actually purchase you the property, and they're on your side.
Buyer's agents, interesting topic. We might have to try to come back to that. But we were talking a bit before the break. One of our callers was asking about buying a property interstate. It was a great point that she made, and a great point that you made too, about using a buyer's agent. Let's talk a little bit about that. How difficult is it to find it? In general, how good are they? And the trust factor?
When I appointed my buyer's agent, I actually rang up the good thing about trying to appoint a buyer's agent is in any city there might only be 5 or 10 of them. There's not a massive amount, so it's not like trying to appoint a real estate agent where there's thousands, but usually they're in a local area. So
why are there so few?
It's a very, very common. There's huge amounts of buyer's agents in America. So in America they've got buyer's agents and seller's agents pretty much on both sides of every transaction. It's very, very different in Australia. The culture of transacting property doesn't have that. So there is that's where the demand and supply is for them at the moment. I think they're a growing beast, but that's where they're at. So basically, I rang every single buyer's agent in Brisbane, chose the one that I liked.
Based on what criteria?
Well, based on the fact that they were actually going to charge me a fee. That cut about half of them out anyway. But then it's the same as when you're selecting everything. Do you like the person? Do you feel that they've got integrity? How well do they negotiate their own fee? The guy I tried to negotiate with him once and I got nowhere, so I felt pretty confident that he was going to be pulling a pretty hard deal. The other thing that you can do is when they do find that located property, they'll present that property to you and say, all right, this is what I think's a great buy given what you want. I then ring up every single real estate agent in the area and asked if they had a similar, saying, look, I'm looking to buy a 4-bedroom unit around this price on this size block. What have you got? And none of those agents had anything better. So that's a good little final, way of knowing that that they're not. It's not a bad deal anyway.
How did you determine what part of Queensland you wanted to buy in?
I wanted to buy in. I read the Australian Property Investor magazine and a number of other sources, and on doing that decided that I wanted to buy in Brisbane. I felt that at that time, this is in 2001, Sydney had already been going up very heavily. Brisbane felt like it was on the verge, and I also decided that I was going to buy within a 5-kilometre radius of the CBD. So that was my two main criteria. I'll let him go from there.
Obviously, as a CEO of a real estate firm, your view on buyers agents may be slightly different. Do they have a place?
They have their place with the time, Paul, which are people that have certainly got certain jobs or situations where they can't really get out there and do it themselves. However, I think the information available at the moment through the internet, and there's many real estate sites, both at ljhooker.com and of course the other portals out there, that people can avail themselves of the information to help shorten up that decision-making process, and then rely on the local agent whom they must have a degree of trust in to deliver the opportunity that particular property offers. And I think certainly they've got their place, but there's a lot of real estate agents out there that are very trustworthy, professional, and certainly have that friendly nature in being able to extend to the particular customer the services they deserve.